Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Every time I start talking about boxing, a white man got full rockin' my gun out there.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Oh, this hard goddamn work being this good.
One more again, see what I take on your front side, I swear.
You ain't my daddy, are you?
There's gonna be consequences and repercussions.
What time is it?
Okay, welcome again to the Don't Be Blasé podcast, coming to you live from the House of Pain, otherwise known as Snap Fitness in the Adelaide CBD. I'm your host, Pete Carolina, joined as always by my man, Steve Burrows.
I won't do it, man. Hey, how you doing, guys? How you doing?
That was very...
I was going to do it.
Yeah.
I was trained.
It might catch on. But
Sub y'all!
yeah, it's not going to catch on. Before we get started, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Larry and Lad. Go to the boys of Region Arcade, get yourself an awesome coffee. This is some pretty sweet tunes, but for now, on with the show. Now, Steve.
Yo.
I'm going to introduce you to a little game we used to play when I was at Fitness First.
Right.
I used to work Fitness First at Holden Hill, and one year we were right into our footy tipping. The AFL season was our life for a year.
Yep.
And then once the tipping finished and we didn't have the banter to go with it, we decided to almost get into a Brownlow sort of situation where if someone did something wrong, they were nominated for the Shit Bloke Awards.
Okay, yep.
So if it was something like, for example, my man P. Sutherland finishing the Christmas party by jumping into bed with his girlfriend's dad accidentally because he was too drunk, that's 2 votes.
Sure,
Shit Bloke
okay,
Award.
yeah.
So I'm going to nominate one for this week.
Okay, go for it, man.
S. Carolina, 3 votes, not turning up to Steve's birthday. How do you feel accepting my nomination for Shit Bloke of the Year award for not coming to your birthday?
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I think it offended a couple of my other friends more than
I think
offended
Brett
me.
was more mad than anything else because I think he had some material lined up to hit me with.
Yeah. No, he Brett was well on his way, and he said to me, he goes, I can't let this dude off the hook, mate.
Yeah, I know. I think I would have copped a fair spray if I'd rocked up.
Yeah. So, take the votes, or take the points, or whatever you call them. Look, I mean, we're all busy, we got things on and things we can't help, and, you got transport issues out to my way.
Mine was purely, we didn't have to cut. The car was getting fixed, and my scooter, which honestly wouldn't have made the distance anyway, but also is in the shop.
Yeah.
This is the great thing about owning a scooter. When you get it's at getting a service because it kind of died in the cold and the week off when I was in Bali. Now, it gets picked up by a mechanic and they take it there. And you get the phone call from the mechanic, you're like, shit, here we go.
Yeah.
So he goes, look, it's got a few things that need fixed. I need to run them by you. I'm thinking, here we go. You start adding it up in your head. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, this scooter's not really worth that much money, so I might just say, just scrap it and get a new one.
Yeah.
So he's like, right, you need a new battery. Battery's dead. I'm like, okay, understandable. And he goes, you need to get a new belt for it. They need to change the belt every... Have you had a new belt on there? I said, yeah. He goes, but we need it every 10,000. I said, well, it's had one belt change. He goes, you're up to like 30,000. I'm like, well, that,
Did you buy it new, did you?
Yeah, my friends bought it for me. Andy and Amy were 2 best friends, organised.
As a present?
It was my 30th birthday present.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's
friends.
nice. Yeah.
They just got sick of picking me up and driving me everywhere, so they got me my own transportation.
Yeah.
So he's like, you need a new belt. I'm thinking, all right, adding this up. And he goes, and your back tyre, he goes, not completely bald, but it's on its way, and especially with the wet weather, you might need a new one. I'm like, oh, here we go. They're giving you the slow, And he goes, right, so I'm just going to run some prices by you. It's this, $500. I'm like, mate, just fucking fix it.
Yeah.
Like, here I am sweating thinking, like when I used to have a car, you take it to the mechanic for a $99 service, end up $1,600 later.
Right.
So I'm like, $500, mate, fix the thing. Oh, that's
Yeah.
why I don't care what anyone says about my scooter. That thing is cost effective.
Well, it wouldn't have been it was probably not, a scooter's not a good idea to ride down Paul Wakefield Road.
Probably not to Virginia, no.
To Virginia.
Especially in like 6-degree weather.
Yeah, so I'll give you a pass. Look, I mean, I understand, with the car thing, so it's all good. Can't say the same for Brett.
Yep.
My boy Ryan.
Yep.
A couple of their lads were like, calling you a few certain words.
I feel like I was walking into an ambush. I feel like they've been listening to the show. They've got it was like going to be the Festivus, the airing of grievances.
Yeah. The only people I don't think would forgive you are the listener, because the listener, I'm sure, was looking forward to having a live show.
Oh, all right.
With a bit of extravagant tunes.
Well, I've heard there wasn't any extravagant tunes. It
No,
turned into
no.
a bit of thuggish ruggish.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. Because I mean, to be honest with you, we'll shout out Brett again. There's probably only a couple of us there who run the extravagant tracks. Although there was one girl at the end, she put on Cyndi Lauper. True Colours, I think. She must have watched
Shining Through.
Yeah, because I can't remember how they even came up, but I've got the Bluetooth, so I run the music off my phone through the system.
Yep.
Because we were running outside, the thing was outside, and I went out the front with a couple of the old school lads, and we're having a bit of a yarn there. So my phone lost connection to the Bluetooth, which everyone jumps on. No. Everyone got on their music,
and they started pissing on your lawn.
The lawn. Oh man, we haven't had lawn chat in a while. But I've mowed it, and it looks pretty happy. This grass is not working out in the winter.
It's like me. It's a summer only affair. So.
Yeah. So all good, man. We'll take the votes. Are we going to do this a weekly thing? Is this while Santa Anna sleeps? Are we going to do this on a weekly basis?
We might need to, just during the winter months while the Santa Anna is having a bit of a holiday.
Yeah,
we might need to introduce the Shit Bloke Awards. So every week, if you've got any suggestions, guys, put them on the Facebook.
Yeah,
it needs to be 1, 2, or 3 votes. It needs to have their first, last name.
Oh, we name it and shame it, but
it's the initial and then the name, like the AFL, the Brownlow.
Yeah.
So 1 vote, 2 vote, 3 vote. 3 votes really best on ground sort of scumbaggery.
Right.
Which I will put my hand up for. That was me. But yeah, that's what we're going to go through. I think that's going to be a good new segment. I think we're going to get a lot of traction on that. Especially I think one B McMahon might feature heavily in votes and might be throwing a lot of votes our way.
Yeah. Can we get a theme music? Can we shout out to our boy? I mean, we've still a couple of months of winter coming up here.
Yeah, Big J, we're on to you again, mate. You did a great job with the sexy lawn chat music, so we might need some Shit Bloke Awards. Some sort of royal gala sounding thing. Something you might walk down a red carpet to.
And it can be Spees' thing if he wants. You know, he's still a bit cut up about Steve's launch at the moment, so you can call it Spees. Shit man, like or something, because I think every time we go off air, he doesn't like it. Steve's launch out, so
it hurts me. Not the routine.
He cuts like electric mower, man.
Not well.
Really rough. Does some lot of damage.
But on to the back to the extravagant music.
Sorry, yeah, extravagant.
This is one thing that I'm. People get around our age, and we start. Not only stammering over sentences like I just did then, like an old man, but we start to go, the kids these days, and this and that.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
I am very proud. I am in touch with some of the youth of today.
Yep.
I train.
You do.
Yeah, I train one of my clients. I train him. I train his wife. I train their son, one of their 2 boys.
Yep.
And he's 14 now.
Okay.
Guess what the hot track is amongst his friends, and they love listening to, and they sing along to when they go somewhere. Like they had a school trip.
Oh, okay. So a bit of a sing along.
Yeah.
Okay, something from the 80s, was it? Maybe 70s, 80s?
Because I asked him, I said, look, we have the video jukebox here at the gym, and we're training, and I was standing next to it. I went, you know what? Give me a song, I'll put it on.
Right.
This kid, 14, Take On Me by Aha.
No way.
I have faith has been restored. It's no longer these bloody kids and their crazy hippity hop music.
Yep.
This kid chose Take On Me.
That's amazing. That's a good
It's a great track. And he said, look, the other song that they all love, Africa by Toto.
Oh, yeah, but who doesn't?
Yeah,
man?
but I'm saying, but these kids weren't even conceived when this song came.
No, their parents wouldn't have been together. That's right. How did Take On Me, was that in our ballads?
It wasn't the ballads.
How did you go?
That did go pretty, I think it almost went Final 4.
Because we did talk about the film clip and stuff.
The film clip does make it, because we did discuss the second greatest film clip of all time on an earlier
That's
show.
right, yes, that's right.
And
yes,
Take On Me was my nominee for that.
That's correct, that's right, yeah.
But yeah, that is a classic tune, and the fact that this kid,
good on you,
14,
buddy. Yeah.
Shout out to Lockie. His dad listens to the show. Might put him onto it. But yeah,
excellent.
Very, very impressed with the youth of today.
That's very cool. It's funny because I'm at this birthday shindig on the weekend. I'd invited a lot of people over who I don't get to see very often.
Yeah.
When you got kids and shit, you don't get to catch up people you like to a lot as much as you used to.
You catch up people you don't like me.
Yeah, that's right. And you generally do. It's generally around the family. It's generally like, do you want to have so-and-so over? Yeah, they can bring their kids.
Yeah.
Well, this was our first night without kids.
Yeah.
We haven't had a function without kids for, God knows how long. Anyway, a lot of them were even from back my school days.
Oh,
so we're talking 20 plus years ago.
Yeah.
But what's funny about it is that we get we haven't seen each other in a while, but we argue and talk like old friends, and we talk and argue about the same things we do every fucking time we meet, which is who's a better hip hop artist, and it's amazing, man. Like how even all these years later. The same argument. It's like a broken record, man. We just argue about the same shit.
Well, that's the basis
over
for this
and over
entire
again.
show, Steve. That's the reason why we got together.
It's
Is because
hilarious.
we've been having these arguments.
But I know,
for
but we've
very
been
long.
ongoing for long. We never broke. There's been never a break, man. We've been arguing for years on end. I'm talking about guys who I've not seen for years.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Like someone said,
Do you feel like you were better prepared for arguments now after the show?
Well, it's funny because I've got a lot of, much like yourself, I'm sure you got guys who've got very strong opinions.
Yes.
Very, very strong opinions. And it basically started just Kanye was on and everyone's like, oh man, how good's Kanye? Like we're trying to be, hip and stuff. And then, everyone started saying, who's the best? Who's the best? So I threw out my 5.
Yeah.
And it's funny because my 5 just altered slightly.
Oh, here we go.
Because
what was your weekend 5?
Well, the weekend 5 was I had Tupac, Biggie, Nas.
Yep.
And then I threw in Kanye.
Oh, there you go.
Because it was topical at the time, and he was coming up. It was a good song that was playing at the time. And then I for some reason I just threw in Redman.
There you go.
Just because, I don't know why, it just popped in my head, and to be honest, like, it was a bit of an ongoing conversation. You had to get in your words when you could, so I really honestly didn't think about it much. And then I got burned hard by these, apparently, the real big Eminem fans.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I got burned hard.
Did you throw in my whoopity scoopity boopity boopity?
No, I didn't. I didn't have that callback memory like you do, but it was funny because and the couple guys I was arguing with, they were very opinionated on it, and they're like, Eminem's done more than all those guys could put together. This, that, the other, and like it was just a hilarious conversation to have.
Eminem is the strongest candidate for you either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Because that last album,
the last album was cack.
Right.
His just general appearance and these days, it's like, okay, do I give him $5 for a bus ticket? Like, he looks like a homeless.
He looks miserable. Does he ever smile?
I don't care about the not smiling thing.
Oh, really?
It's the more you've got the real white trash beard thing going on, and you're fat.
He's fat.
He's got a guts on him. But it's like my mate Andy. Andy is what we call skinny fat. He's fat guts. He deserves it. No, because Andy used to give me so much grief when I was fat in high school.
Oh,
and
no.
so then like another friend of ours got fat and then got back in shape. And then out of all of them, he was the skinniest the longest. And now he's just got a guts on him.
Yeah,
it's not even like he's fat. He's just got a big gut, so we call him fat guts.
It's a bit ET-ish.
Yeah, and so. Like Eminem's got the same body type. It's like skinny arms, skinny legs, fucking guts out of nowhere. And then he still tries to dress like young and hip. It's like, nah, mate, you just...
Because he'd be in his 40s.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't he?
Yeah, because he's older than us.
Yeah, he would be older than us, that's right.
27. But yeah, no, just because... Yeah, the longer he goes, it's kind of like the shine's really come off him.
Right.
So I've really, so I agree with you there. He's not top 5 for me. And it's almost ruined some of his earlier stuff because it's like all I can picture is it's like for me with Michael Jackson.
Right.
I turned on Michael Jackson after probably Remember the Time. And when the skin started getting lighter and the behaviour started getting weirder, I couldn't equate. They were two different people for me. Like I couldn't have gone and seen Michael Jackson perform that last show he was going to do and still pictured him being the younger guy. It's like this to me almost looks like an impersonator doing that act because it's not the person I visualize with that sort of that material. So that's why it wouldn't have been the same for me. Yeah. And that's the same way I go with Eminem. It's like, it's not quite right.
Speaking of dudes like still hanging on, is this year we've had a plethora of old...
That's a good word for you.
A plethora of old bands come over. Like big time acts from the 80s and the 90s. I think the biggest one is coming at the end of the year. Is Bon Jovi.
Ugh.
And I tend to agree with you, but he did have some bangers.
Yeah.
But he's coming now. I was reeling him off the other day to a fellow at work. There was Bon Jovi. We talked about Def Leppard. Foreigner. There was Mr. Big, Extreme. The Hurricanes. No, Scorpions.
Lionel Richie came earlier.
Lionel Richie. It is crazy. And these guys, they'd still be gazillionaires.
Oh, yeah.
and they would go to these shows and get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars per show to come out. Your Bon Jovi, he would be, what, 60?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's still, he's still trying to hold on to, and he was never really street rock anyway. He was always like the pop kind of rock, as far as I was concerned.
He was like the epitome of cock rock.
Cock rock.
Yeah.
What's cock rock?
That's
like hairbands rock.
Yeah,
kind of
hairbandy
thing?
sort of shit.
Yeah.
Because I just can't stand, because, and admittedly, it has come out since I've done my Ancestry DNA kit.
I saw that the other day, right.
I do have the European heritage. We knew.
Yes.
My friends, because the only country that was, well, certainly the only place that was really named was Sicily. So then all my Italian friends were like, oh, you're one of us. I'm like, go eat a bag of dicks. But the reason why I don't like Bon Jovi is for wogs. Yes, I'll use the word wogs because I am technically one of them. They're hanging on an obsession with fucking Bon Jovi and Elvis.
Okay.
I cannot stand either of those purely because they're just so obsessed with them, and they're just like, it's like, okay, they've had their time, they were done. Why do you still hang on to Bon Jovi and Elvis?
Yeah.
It's one I don't get.
Because I don't even think Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora play together anymore. I think Richie Sambora had enough.
Exactly.
He's like, he goes, this is ridiculous.
Richie's
I'm
like,
going back to have a Lockley or something.
Yeah, no, not her. She's ended up in some mental institution or something last
What?
week. Yeah. Oh, yeah, mate. Read her website.
No.
Yeah. I guess say read
I'm sorry, I'm not like,
I was going to say read a
vanity
newspaper, but
fucking-
newspaper's not a thing anymore. But no, she's in, I may be wrong, allegedly. I'm just going to allegedly to cover up.
Is it Heather Locklear or the character from Melrose Place? Now, she was a bit cracking. Don't get me wrong. But you're not confusing the two. It's not been like
I love a dated
reunion.
reference. But no. There was an article. Yeah, she's ended up in some sort of
No way.
Yeah, so she's had just a bit of a. I don't want to say it's a senior moment.
Yeah.
But I think she's had a bit of a mental health breakdown. So we're not gonna say any sort of bad terms because people do have mental health problems.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I think she's gone that way because I think he's moved on. He just seems to just stay winning as far
Richie
as
Sambora.
bagging like good looking blondes. So that's like I'm not a blonde guy myself, but he just seems to always be like, hey, it's good looking blonde. There's Richie. There we go.
Yeah.
And he always has better hair than they do anyway. So
Well, I would like to go see one of these bands, but it's fucking July now.
I know.
It's almost July. I cannot believe how quick this year is coming, man, and going, man. It's absolutely scary. I'm getting to the age now. I'm starting to look in the secondhand what's that old trading post for red convertibles, convertibles, scarves, and
are you gonna have
little hats?
You have a
man.
little midlife crisis, are you?
I think. Well, it's just life is going so fast, man.
Yeah.
I cannot believe how we're in July already.
Yeah.
I turned 27 again.
Yep.
It's just what the fuck, man. Where's it all going?
But that's a really deep question, Steve.
Have we got time for a deep
This
question?
show's about
Bit more shallow.
Yeah, ripping the shit out of things and talking about sport and music and stuff. So this whole what's the existence of time? I think we're gonna lose our target audience.
Okay.
'Cause
Sorry,
Brett,
listener.
Yeah, Brett's gonna be sitting there going, "What the fuck are these two on about?"
I'm pretty sure we were talking about that late on Saturday night.
Oh, that's a 3 a.m. chat.
Yeah,
around,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
the glass table that's always in everyone's backyard, and everyone sits around that. That's that conversation with the plastic chairs. That's where you have that conversation. But it's not for
today.
Not for today.
What are we talking about today then?
We're going to talk about, speaking of Kanye, but
Yes.
808s and heartbreaks.
Okay.
What's the team that tears my heart out every time I watch them? That's right, on cue, the good old Caltex Socceroos.
The Caltech Socceroos.
Oh, mate, you got to get the sponsors in there, otherwise they get mad. But did they not just live up to everything that we told you they would?
Yeah.
They gave you that glimmer of a hope.
Oh, they did.
They played
There was
against
hope.
France and only narrowly lost.
Yeah.
Played well to the competition. Went in there against Denmark. And, I was watching the game with our good friend of the show, Daniel Panozzo.
Oh yeah. Oh, did you really?
Yeah, we went and watched it together.
Panozzo?
And we were sitting there and I go, what's the bet that Denmark scores early? He goes, inside. I said, what, inside 20 minutes? And he goes, inside 10. Yep, 7th minute, Denmark score.
Yeah.
All the guys around us like, I can't believe it. It's like, if you can't believe it, you haven't been watching the Socceroos for very long.
Yeah.
And then we pulled that one back, like we normally do. Looked like we could have won that game. Going into the last game, we have a bit of hope. We have a bit of optimism. Is Timmy going to get a game? Is Arzani going to start? Why the hell is Robbie Cruz even in the team? And then we put on an absolute shitfest, lose 2-0.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, why? Because I had to do went to bed at like 9, slept for 2 hours, woke up at 11, watched the game, went back to bed at like 1, woke up at 5. It was just like, oh, this is terrible. I feel horrible today because of it. But it's just like, like, why was I expecting it to be any different? I'm almost like the battered housewife that just like keeps getting smacked out, and then he says he loves me
won't do
once,
it
and I
again.
come back
That's
again.
right,
He's
yeah.
promised me he won't do it again.
Yeah.
That is me with these Socceroos.
Yeah, well, the Denmark game was interesting because I actually thought we were the majority of the time with the better team.
Yeah.
And I thought it came down to we should have struck while the iron was hot, and
Yeah.
Timmy should have come on in game 2.
Well, that's
We needed that, that finesse. We needed that impact in the last half hour, 20 minutes.
Well, it's the frustrating thing because we know the facts. He's 39 years old. He
Yeah.
hasn't played like a full game in forever. He got dropped by like a second division England team because English like side because he was like not scoring.
Yeah.
His career was pretty much done. But we just know he is one of those guys. Like I put it on my Facebook the other day. There is no one more trusted on a big stage than Tim Cahill. And
Yeah.
it showed, and it was really frustrating because it showed they didn't put him on until they were down 2-0 to Peru.
Yeah.
Not only he didn't score, but he got himself in the positions. And that was the key because they all of a sudden went, oh shit, this is the guy.
Yeah.
And then he would
This is literally the guy that we know.
yeah, and so he would get himself into position. So not only but it just attracted, even if we put him out there as a freaking decoy,
Yeah.
he would attract the defenders and attract the eye of the defenders, and it opened up. Like the only time we looked like we were going to score from free play, because the only 2 goals we scored were penalties.
Yeah.
The only time we looked like we were going to score an open field goal was when Tim was on the park, because it changed the way our offense was structured. It's just like, now I'm not a big soccer guy, and I can see that.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're paying Bert Van Marwijk.
Well, not anymore. I think he's done, isn't he?
Yeah, he was done, but it was just like, mate, you have worked in, football your whole life. How
Yeah.
do you not know that guy is like special?
Yeah.
Some people are just special.
Yeah.
And like big stages, that's where they will produce. He wasn't going to play a whole game. There was no one was calling for him to start.
No.
But give him 15 minutes and he'll give you something.
Yeah.
But he had to wait to the last 20 minutes of our World Cup to give him a go.
That's right. I think that's where our World Cup hopes were dashed, when we could have probably beat Denmark. And then when you don't have to rely on the Peru game.
Yeah.
And had we won against Denmark, then the Peru game would have been played totally different.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what though, I don't mind that Rogic guy.
Yeah, Rogic had a good tournament.
He's a little bit. I have written him off before because he looks a bit lazy at times, but I think that's just his style, But he's very talented. That little fella Zani who come off the bench as well. He's fantastic. We might have a couple of decent players going forward, but we don't have that team of 2006.
Yeah.
We don't have that where we've got these international guys who are succeeding at the highest level, when you did have Viduka and Kuhl. Even back in 2006, when we had Harry Kuhl and Viduka, I remember an Australian interviewer asked Ronaldo, the proper Ronaldo, what do you think of, because we had to play them in the group rounds or something, and he goes, what do you think about Harry Kuhl and Mark Viduka? And Ronaldo's like, who are they?
Yeah, exactly.
And they were our best team. That was our golden era. So these A-League guys that we're running these days,
Yeah, they're not as well.
they're not
known.
well beaters.
And the problem is, a friend of mine pointed out, he goes, you remember a lot of these guys, if they do play in Europe, they're usually coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Every second game. They're not
Right.
playing full games against top. And that's one of the things. Like, they're practicing and they're getting the experience and learning this and that. But you've got to play full games against full competition, and that's the only way you're really, really going to get better at that level.
And this is why I'll stand by the thing that the A-League, as although it's a vast improvement from the NSL, I think is a detriment to the Australian international team, because people don't have to jet off at 12 years old to England, because they've actually got a pathway to have a living in playing soccer in the A-League. And if you look back in the day with those team, with Harry Kuhl, Bresciano, Viduka, all those guys, they all were playing international
Even
soccer.
Vince Grella was over in Italy playing as well.
Exactly, they all played international, and a lot of them. Timmy Cahill came out of nowhere. No one even knew who Timmy Cahill was, man, because he wasn't sitting there playing for Adelaide United.
Yeah.
No, he didn't, man. No, they didn't. They jet setted when they were young, and they took off to international clubs to actually become better. And that's why the A-League has kind of screwed the Socceroos.
Well, even if we don't have the A-League, there's still almost like there's 3 guarantees in life. There's going to be death, there's going to be taxes, there's going to be the Socceroos conceding a goal early in some sort of game that's important. So that's all we need to know from that going forward. But moving on to some sort of somewhat happier news, with the NBA had their awards. Now, Steve, what are you thinking about the awards for this year, the MVP and etc.?
Well, I don't think. I think for the butthurt LeBron fans, I think that the reality is that James Harden had an MVP type season. He led the league in scoring.
Yep.
He had the best team in the comp.
Yep.
65 wins or something like that, which, that's pretty good. I know he did have a good team behind him, but he was generally the best player in the best team. You can understand why. And we talk about it all the time. Back in the Jordan years, you could even talk when Kobe was on top there. It doesn't mean that James Harden's the best player in the league.
No.
It just means he is the most valuable to that team in the competition. So he had a remarkable year. So I kind of thought he would win it. So it makes sense. And the other one, the big one that obviously that we like is the Ben Simmons one.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like the LeBron one, I'm not going to argue because it's one of those things where it's like when Jordan was playing. Barkley won an MVP, Karl Malone won MVP, but everyone knew hands down Jordan was the best player.
Yeah.
As much as you want to see them sort of break the record for most MVPs and this and that, and like LeBron's already had a few taken away from him, like exactly the Derrick Rose situation. It's just, and where's he now? But it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, James Harden did have a great season. They almost owed it to James Harden for the previous two where he kind of got robbed a little bit. So it's like, okay, whatever. The MVP is the MVP, and everyone knows LeBron is the most valuable player in the league, and everyone knows he's the most talented player in the league. It's just, I think the reason why people get a bit funny about Harden is because of the way he plays, with the drawing the fouls and stuff. It's considered a bit weak.
Right.
But the one I was very happy about was the almost unanimous, like the complete runaway favourite was Ben Simmons to win Rookie of the Year. Now, I get how important Donovan Mitchell is, and I get how good he is.
Of course.
And everyone's like, but he wasn't drafted this year. Who cares? That's not the rule when everyone knows it.
Yeah.
It's just like the same way I get mad when people go, oh, I can't believe they still replay a drawn grand final in the AFL. It's like, well, you knew the fucking rule going in. Everyone gets excited when the game's close towards the end of the game because that's a possibility. But then when it actually happens, everyone goes, oh, but I don't actually want this. Well, you knew what the fucking rule was going in. So I do like that Ben won and won convincingly. But the issue I have with all these awards, because the other ones are fine.
Yeah.
My favourite bit was Dwayne Casey winning the Coach of the Year and then just going, I don't know if anyone got told, but I got fired. That was really funny. But my issue is why, I know they want to make it an awards night, make it special, but having it this far after the last regular season game, when it's a regular season award, you kind of that's the reason why people get a bit about the decisions, because it's like, well, Harden didn't have a great playoffs, so that kind of is the last memory you have of him. Ben Simmons' last series against Boston wasn't strong, and it looked like, if you went on by the whole season, including playoffs, like Jason Tatum probably should have won.
You're right.
The Rookie of the Year. So I think they need to go back to giving out the awards first week of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because it kind of does, because you can only go by your last memory, and the last memory you have is some of these guys playing pretty average.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why I like the Brownlow when they played the week before the grand final.
Yep.
That's cool. It's still relevant.
Yep.
You're up and about the grand final, and then they do the best player award, the best and fairest. So, I'm bored with that one. With your speed. The other one, the Oladipo won he won most improved, and he was good.
Yep.
He was very good. I think Rudy Gobert won the defensive player. Which, for me, I was indifferent. There was a couple contenders, and I could have went to either of them, or four, or the three of them. And who was that? What else was
Sweet
there?
Lou Williams.
Sixth man of the
which
year.
I was a huge fan of because I had Sweet Lou in my fantasy team. He was getting buckets all year.
Yeah, and Eric Gordon would have been. He was one of the contenders, wasn't he, for Houston? And then the Coach of the Year, which is funny because that's happened to George Karl.
Yeah.
Around 11, 12, 13, around that time, when there was 9 coach firings over the summer, and he was one of them who won the Coach of the Year. So it's pretty funny.
As I was saying, I listened to it, I heard it on another, I can't remember which podcast, but another sports podcast, but saying with professional sports, being a coach, it's like the worst employment rate ever. Like, because you remember, like, so with the NFL, there's 32 teams. Every season, at least 5 coaches are changed. It's like 20%.
That's not
it's like any other job where like 20% of the staff get turned over every year. You'd be a little bit nervous about your job. So It's a tough thing because they say this is the problem with the Raptors. You've got all these players under contract, and you've got a coach. Now it's easier to fire one coach as opposed to just to get 12 new players,
Right.
Especially with the pretty much ironclad contracts they have these days in the NBA. It's like, well, he's essentially the scapegoat.
Yeah. Escape. That's right. So the other thing I was going to ask you, because I can see that we are running out of time, and this is a bit of a throwback, Speed, but I did want to throw it out there. On the plane, did you get to watch Moana?
No,
You didn't get to watch Moana.
I flew Jetstar.
Okay. What does that mean?
That means you barely get enough room to actually I'm long-sighted, not near-sighted.
Yeah.
So basically, the chair in front of me is that close.
Yeah.
I can't even read the safety instructions because it was blurry.
Right.
So there's no TVs, mate. Jetstar is limited on the positive. So I haven't seen Moana yet, but I am thinking of actually like I said, I'm the only person that still goes to a video store. I'm contemplating heading to the video store to borrow it.
Yes, because I did see the other day that the film that you're hot on,
Yep, Incredibles 2.
was like breaking records, man. It was like
apparently the biggest opening weekend in animated film history.
It's mental, man, because whenever I've gone to the cinema, it's fucking empty, man.
Yeah.
It's always maybe I'll go 2 weeks late or something like that. But whenever they break these records, it blows my mind that they can generate that much money to these cinema releases. It's crazy. So I am interested in watching Incredibles 2. I love the premise.
Yep.
I think you sold it to me. I have watched Incredibles 1.
Yep.
But I think it's Incredible 2 might be better.
Well, I found that's been somewhat of a topic of conversation. It's not so much you guys haven't got too much on the social media about it. Get on our Facebook. We need to chat the Facebook, you jerks. Don't just text me and go, no, you picked the wrong movies. You forgot about Lion King. No, I remember Lion King. I just think it's a little bit overrated.
Oh, what?
Yes, I said it. I said it into a live microphone. It's just the one that's been overplayed and overdone, and everyone hypes it up. Like, it's a great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not good. I just think it's overrated. I think it's
Holy
like
shit.
So many people have like hyped it up, and it's almost like accepted as gospel as this is the greatest Disney movie of all time, and everyone's playing for second place. It's almost like the LeBron and MJ, and everything else is the MVP award. No. It's good. Don't get me wrong. I did enjoy The Lion King. I just don't think it's the best. I don't even think it's top 3. Because those movies are all about sentimentality.
Yeah,
Like I
sure,
said, that's
sure.
why I put Robin Hood in there. Now, is it like the best movie? No, but it's my childhood memory.
I totally get
So
that.
a lot of people get it like that's why they love Lion King, because that was their childhood.
Yeah.
But to me, even though like it's part of my childhood, I love Aladdin. I put Aladdin ahead of Lion King. But I also think that's been overplayed.
Yeah.
That one was so huge that it's sort of like, I'm a bit over this one now.
Yeah.
That's the way I go.
Fair enough. And another callback from a previous episode,
Yep.
since I'm on a roll. As you might have noticed, I've not posted any videos
Yes.
on the Facebook of breaking any records
We
yet.
haven't hit the...
But,
But,
spoiler alert,
here we go.
there will be a video.
Yeah.
I can't go... Okay, what sucks is that I'm off to Melbourne
Yep.
this weekend. Shout out to our boy Benny, who's tying the knot. And
I thought you said that was a secret.
That wasn't a secret.
Oh,
no.
okay, just keep-
It's just, I guess, hasn't been hugely public, I guess, maybe.
Okay, so you're really just going to out it here in front of like 17 people. You're really blowing up his spot, Steve.
Well, the thing is, right, Benny deserves a shout out.
He does.
Because you know what, he is one of our regular listeners.
Yeah, he's
and he
loyal.
deserves. Yeah, and then it does occur to me that Brett gets his name thrown around, and my boy Andy gets his name thrown around, and I think Benny needs a bit of love.
Oh, we'll give Benny some
So,
love.
throw
And congratulations this weekend, Benjamin.
Throw some wedding love out there. But so I won't be in the gym, and I didn't go to the gym today because of fucking Socceroos.
Yep.
So I won't be there for the rest of the week.
Yep.
But I'll give you a little bit of a
Bit of a heads up.
bit of a heads up, bit of a spoiler alert.
Yep.
That record of mine,
Yep.
and
So what you got for 200?
250.
250. Okay, because I did pull several reps at 210 yesterday.
Oh yeah, 210. No, that's pretty
nice.
good for warming up.
Yeah.
250. 250 is the number,
Yep.
and hopefully next Wednesday is usually my legs day or my deadlifts day at least.
Yeah.
We should have something up. We'll see.
Well, while we're on the subject of that,
pretty happy.
yes, and I know I haven't put my burpees up. Get up and back.
Oh my god, compound interest. What are we up to, bro?
Well, this is going to be compound interest. So we've been having this at this House of Pain at Snap Fitness.
Yep.
We've been having this little game we've been playing last 3 weeks with the trainers. Every week, trainer picks an exercise, For every like it gets, they do 1 rep for every time someone
Oh, I
tags
saw
a
that.
friend.
Yeah, I saw that.
2 reps, 5 reps for a share of the post.
Right.
In a way to get a bit of social media
Yeah,
chatting
definitely.
over, gets people involved.
Bit of a chat.
So Jared did some deadlifts. He did like 400 something deadlifts at 60 kilos. So it was pretty impressive.
400
Yeah.
reps.
Yeah.
For
Or it was more than that. I don't know. I can't remember the exact number. I remember James's. James had to do 770 half Hindu push-ups, which are very, very tough.
In how long? How long was there?
You just had to do it in the day, one day.
Oh, one day.
Yeah.
Right.
So Holly did 500 odd box jumps.
Well
And
done.
mine's up this week. So the video's going to go up, recording Wednesday. This will probably come out Wednesday. So it'll probably come out tonight. So you've got 24 hours to add onto it. So I'm doing kick sits. So it's a Zoom move. It's like a little hip
I know
twist
that
thing.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Now, this is where I'm going to call out to our listener. I want you guys to get on the Snap Fitness Adelaide CBD Facebook page. I want you to like this post. I want you to tag friends. I want you to share it. I don't care about doing the extra reps. I'm trying to go for over 1,000 reps, and I challenge you to get me there. But I have put out a little thing, and there will be a link attached to the post. I'm raising money for Beyond Blue.
Oh, that's good.
So one of those things, like Beyond Blue is very important to me because of my own personal depression, anxiety, and it sort of hit me the day, the second I landed in Bali, opened up my phone, saw the thing about Anthony Bourdain, and someone like that, and like that one really got me. The one that really, really killed me was Robin Williams.
Right, yeah.
You see people and you think they've got their life together, and then you think, well, if like sometimes with my depression, I look at someone as successful and as prominent as that, and I figure, if they can't make it, what chance do I have? And it does drop you into a pretty deep place. So the fact that I know there's places like Beyond Blue, that does help me, and that does get me through. And I do use exercise as a way of sort of balancing out my life, and trying to fight off the depression and anxiety. So I am putting out the challenge there. If you do want to like it, tag friends, share the post, cool, go for it. I'm happy to do the reps. But I would like you to also match it dollar for dollar.
Okay.
So we're going to have we've got like a page set up through Beyond Blue. You can put your donations on there. So tag as many friends as you like.
Okay.
Share the post as many times as you like. Like it within that 24-hour period between 5 p.m. tonight. That would be, what's the date today? The 27th. And 5 p.m. tomorrow, the 28th.
Right.
And yeah, try to get as many reps in. Try to get as many likes in, tags in, and I will do all the reps, and the video will be up online. I'll even share it on our Don't Be Blasé page. You will see me do it. I'm trying to get over 1,000, but I do want us to raise over $1,000 for Beyond Blue.
That's fantastic. But there better be fucking 5 burpees at the end of that, motherfucker. Because you still owe me, man.
I will throw in 5 burpees. If my hips can still move and my arms don't give out on me, I will happily do the 5 burpees at the end. But that's going to be us for this week, guys. Thanks for listening to the show. For Steve Burrows,
See you later.
for Speak Carolina, and if you do like to not only like that post I'm going to put up with there, but if you do want to keep hearing "Sup y'all,"
Sup, y'all?
or if you want Steve to come up with a different catchphrase, let us know. But we'll speak to you next week. Peace.
Peace.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.